Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. It's Tuesday, which means we're covering some trade paperbacks and graphic novels. It's Trade Tuesday right here at graphicpolicy.com. I want to do a review of an upcoming graphic novel that's not in shelves quite yet. It's out September 15th from Dead Reckoning. That's a new imprint from Naval Institute Press. The Naval Institute Press is a really interesting publishing company in that it, of course, focuses on military books. I think Hunt from Red October is one that they're like really well known for. So that's kind of what you're going to get. You're going to get a whole bunch of stuff that deals with military and history and a lot of interesting books. Now, months ago, they announced Dead Reckoning, their new graphic novel imprint that's going to be telling all kinds of stories through, well, graphic novels, through comics. And The Stand is one of the first releases from Dead Reckoning. It is for ages 16 and up. It's going to retail for $16.95. There is a lot in here. There's about 17 stories that all have to deal with deployment in Afghanistan. I thought this was a really kind of interesting one to start with, in that it is an anthology in many ways, pretty much not many ways. It is an anthology. It is a whole bunch of short stories that all have to do with experiences in Afghanistan. I think what's really interesting to me is that this is the counts of people who were there. Those involved: Kevin Knodell, David Axe, Blue Delliquanti is the team that have actually kind of put this together. But the stories within are all people who've served in the military, served in Afghanistan in one way or another. It kind of runs all over the place. You have people who are like, bomb disposal folks, interpreters, medics, soldiers, some that served in Iraq, some that haven't served in Iraq, and the stories told within kind of like just run the spectrum as covering the experience of soldiers in that. And now what I think is actually really impressive with this graphic novel is that, something coming from Naval Institute Press, well, I'm going to outright say is I would expect to be very jingoistic, definitely hoorah, yay yay, military type stuff. But what's in is beyond honest. It is so honest, so fresh, so refreshing to read. I mean, David Axe is an amazing journalist, so I really, with his name on it, I wouldn't expect that sort of stuff. But, let's be honest, it's something that, Naval Institute Press, you would kind of expect to be very pro-military. And while this does obviously support the military, it's also super honest in their experiences. This does not kind of wash things over. It does not make it seem like it's better than it is. These are people who are, it touches on subjects like PTSD, just messed up operations, really horrible coordination, and some pretty harrowing tales as well. It's all over the place, and for that, I think this is an amazing read. This is really graphic journalism at its best because there is an honesty about it you so rarely hear. This is military, people who have served, being honest and open about their experiences. So that is absolutely fantastic. The stories within, let's do it. The stories are fantastic. They're eye-opening. They're really interesting. They definitely get you in the experience. Stuff that you may have never even thought about, or, obviously I haven't served, so I've never experienced myself. So within that is absolutely wonderful. This is an amazing read due to that. The story quality itself is kind of all over the place. Some are excellent. Kind of keeps you on the edge. You don't really know what's going to happen. And then there's some that, can definitely, maybe you've used some editing, maybe better storytelling a little bit. So the stories themselves are a little bit choppy in that and all over the place. But the actual points to them and what happens is amazing and definitely makes up for all of that. So I think that's really, really interesting about it. Like, the content is riveting. The way the content's told at times might be a little but, if you really want an honest truth about what's going on, what it's like to be in Afghanistan, what it was like to be there early on, I mean, there's special operations folks who are telling their story in this. This, I think, is probably going to be one of those very important pieces of journalism and things that folks can reference about what it was like to really be there. The art is okay. That's kind of the down point of the graphic novel. So, like, this is the art style. It's not bad. In fact, it really has that kind of a journalistic feel to it. So in that sense, it's good. However, the style, the graphic novel as a whole could have probably benefited from having a whole bunch of different art styles to match the stories, mixing things up a little bit, or just find one artist who's maybe a little bit grittier in the art style. These are some pretty brutal stories at times, and the art doesn't quite give you that sense about it. That being said, I still think, you know, this is a fantastic read for those who like military stories, who want real military stories, who care about what's really going on in the world. The Stand, I think, is actually a really important read, and honestly, it's going to be one of those things that hopefully people are referencing for a long time. There's an honesty about it. There is a clear... It doesn't have an agenda. It is about honest truth, experiences of people in war, and particularly in Afghanistan. Rarely do I feel like you get that sense of honest truth in journalism and what's presented to us as the public. This really does feel like something that is uncensored and truthful in what it's presenting. So for that, I think this is an absolute must-get. I'm one who likes to be aware of what's going on in the world, likes to be aware of, you know, what folks in the military experience, the reality of it all. And reading this, there's a lot of stuff that's in it that I either didn't think about or was completely unaware, and it is critical about what is going on in Iraq and Afghanistan and how soldiers are being treated and how we treat soldiers. As I said, there's it touches upon PTSD in here, something you don't actually read about enough in comics, let alone news or anyone else. So for that, I think this is absolutely wonderful. We're going to be covering all of the Dead Reckoning releases. I can't wait to sit down and read everything and get it out for you, the public. As I said, we're doing this a little bit early. You're going to have a month to get it. We're going to have a link beneath this video. You can pre-order your copies of all the Dead Reckoning graphic novels. The Stand, to me, again, if you really care about honest journalistic truth, this is one I think that is a must-get. I want to thank Naval Institute Press and Dead Reckoning for hooking us up with review copies of all the stuff that's going to be coming out. Really looking forward to bringing you the honest truth and reviews on all of them. And, you know, as always, thank you so much. As I said, there's a link beneath this video. It is straight to the Naval Institute Press site. I believe that's the only place you can get it right now. If there are more locations, we'll definitely add to it. If there are affiliate links, you know, we do get percentage of that. Again, I want to emphasize that, you know, Naval Institute Press and Dead Reckoning hooked us up with this graphic novel for review. You know, obviously, we've been very honest, or I've been honest here, so I think that, you know, pretty straight up as far as that. And now, if you're into more Dead Reckoning news, if you're into graphic novels, comic books in general, you can check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. So until next time, keep reading those comics, get informed, vote this November, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.